everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Snarkbait. I'm Christy.
I'm Sophie.
It's Dark Energy Tuesday, best day of the week. And before we dive in, Sophie, well, I don't even know what I was going to say. Before we dive in, what do we need to talk about? What now?
What now?
What now?
Well, you guys, this week is Dark Energy so far.
Do we want to talk about it?
Hydrogate.
We won't dox them quite yet.
No.
Sophie,
We're not going to dox them. We're not going to dox the company. We have been working really hard, you guys, to finally get merch ready, especially for our live shows. And it's been quite a process. One of the products that we have been designing is like a really cool Hydro Jug, like water bottle, branded. And there was some sort of mix-up where we thought we were going to get a sample, like a pre-production sample, to proof it and see it in person before we approve it, give any feedback. I ended up receiving 4 huge fucking boxes of these water bottles. There was a mix-up, miscommunication. They went ahead and produced the water bottles, all of them, and sent them to my apartment. As if I have the space. As if I'm going to individually, like I'm a fulfillment center. No, you guys. It was like such a mess.
We're like laughing, but it's not funny.
It's not funny.
Sophie and me and Olivia, because Olivia is helping us with our merch, Olivia sends us 4 tracking numbers, and we're like, we thought it was like a single tracking number.
I thought it was one long tracking number.
Right, because sometimes they are very long.
Yeah.
And I get a couple messages from Sophie and Olivia saying, guys, there must be a mistake. There's 4 huge boxes in my downstairs in our lobby by the front door. And Olivia's like, that can't be right. And Sophie calls me. The phone is like shaking. Christy, this cannot happen. What am I going to do with these 4 boxes? I'm schlopping them up. I have Baxter in one hand, the boxes in the other.
Yep.
What am I to do?
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like sitting at home like, I don't know. Oh my God, what do we do? Immediately take action. Olivia, what's going on? Do this, do that. Felt so badly. Olivia was at a play.
No, she was at an art show.
Yeah, an art show.
She's always like out doing something chic. And so she was like at an art show. I was like, don't worry about this right now. But let's figure out what to do with these fucking boxes. And of course, the samples aren't even exactly what we would want. So like it's not like we're like, okay, let's put them in storage for now and then we'll figure out how to ship them out to people. It's like, no, like we have feedback about them. This was supposed to be a sample. And now we have 4 boxes of them.
I think it's legitimately, like, how many do we have?
50, I think.
But it's not like 50 hats that can fit in one box.
No,
it's Hydro Jugs. They're
4
big.
massive boxes. So yeah, that's what we have been dealing with. Nothing can ever be normal. Never a dull moment over here at Snarkbait HQ.
Genuinely, add it to the fucking list.
Add it to the fucking list. Like, why can't anything be easy or normal?
They never said it would be easy. They said it'd be worth it.
Yeah, but like it's not even worth it, honestly. Like, I'm so annoyed. And we're like,
dumb.
One day this will be a funny story, just not yet.
It was just so funny too, because like I'm sitting here on the other side of the country. Christy, this must be a mistake. And I'm like, what am I going to do?
No, and like I went down to the package room thinking it would be a little sample. And we have worked with a merch company in the past that we ended up parting ways with because it was just too, like we're trying to make this happen. And it's just been such a process. And they sent me like a sample that I could either approve. I wanted to feel it. I want to see it, touch it, you know.
Right.
So I was expecting like a little tiny box, 1 Hydro Jug, 1 sample. And yeah, imagine my surprise.
And obviously, we talk about everyone's polyester pajama lines. Like, we want to make sure that it feels good, it's sustainable.
Yes, and
we're very specific about that.
And Christy knows in the, communications to this merch company, I made it very clear that we care a lot about sustainability and quality. And so I was like, I don't want anything to be produced until I see a sample so I can make sure it is up to our standards. Like, I'm not even just saying that to be like, guys, we're so righteous and sustainable. It's just like the truth. Like, I don't want to produce crap. And now I'm mad that like we have all of this stuff produced that like is probably gonna be waste. Like, we don't know what to do with it. It's very frustrating. But again, will be a funny story hopefully one day. Just not
But
yet.
it's very stressful right now because these things are not cheap. So we're trying to scramble to figure out what are we to do with 4 huge boxes and we're out
And
money
we're
now.
out a lot of money because
Yeah.
of this mix up. So
Yeah.
yeah, just never a fucking dull moment.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
yeah, it was very stressful yesterday, needless to say, but very happy to be here to talk about so much TV because I feel like this past
yes.
week there's been a lot of new TV. There's been a lot of, I mean, we have to talk about Traitors, even though Traitors isn't even on this document because I just watched it last night.
Oh yeah. What'd you
But
think?
oh my God, it's so funny because Rob Roush has these faithfuls wrapped around his damn finger, and Tara coming out of the woodwork, kind of just like a little
Clocking
mouse, very
Rob.
quiet, going, "Is it Rob?"
Clocking
And then
Rob, but then backing down at the round table.
that actually really upset me on behalf of
Same.
Natalie.
Same. I was so upset for Natalie. These faithfuls do not deserve to win. And you know who's pissing me off the most? You could probably guess. Mora.
Let me think. Oh God, she's such
Mora.
the Dolores Catania of this season.
Well, she's just so obsessed with Rob that she is throwing every other woman. First of all, why would another traitor be a woman? They've already banished 3 woman traitors. They know there has to be a guy up in the turret.
Right.
So it's just, and of course it's not to like, be that friend that's too woke, but it's like another woman of color, Natalie. Like, I'm so upset on behalf of Natalie and the way
Me
that
too.
Mora comes so aggressively and is so mean and she's always wrong. Like, she is so
Yes.
frustrating to watch. I actually hate her. Like,
No,
she's just so
me too.
digmatized by Rob. I actually, at this point, want her to make it to the end with Rob so that she can be just like, when it turns out that Rob is a traitor and she is screwed over. Like, I want to see her reaction. It would be like season 2 of Traitors UK, if you guys know what I'm talking about. It was Harry the traitor. I mean, spoiler alert, it's been years since the season came out. Harry and I forgot her name. Molly, I think her name was. And they were really good friends. They made it to the end. She was a faithful. He was a traitor. She completely trusted him. And then he was like, I'm a traitor. And she was so upset she stormed out of the castle. And I was like, I
way.
want that to happen to Mora. But it seems like from her social media activity, she's not at all. She's still obsessed with Rob. So.
Yes, I felt like Natalie held her own so
Yes.
well at that round table. She had so many good arguments, and the fact that no one was listening to her, they were hearing her, they weren't actually listening to her. And that's what pissed me off. I'm like, she's outlining her arguments in such a perfect way, and you guys are just, yeah, you're right. You're so digmatized by Rob that you don't want to see what's right in front of your face. I do feel like Tara pissed me off too at the round table. The fact that she was gunning so hard for Rob during the entire episode, between her and Natalie in the castle, on the mission, on the way to the missions in the Jeep. And then she goes on and she's just like a quiet little mouse, not wanting to say anything. And Natalie's like, "You are the reason why I'm putting my neck on the line right now."
Exactly. I think that Natalie also, and I have watched Natalie on Survivor. She is a brilliant strategic player. And I think that that is why, during the episode, she said a million times, why am I still here? I have a traitor angel. I am Rob's ally. That makes sense that Rob is a traitor in protecting me. She is so smart and so strategic. I think that she, unfortunately, at the round table got a little bit too emotional.
Yes, agreed.
She ended up voting for Tara instead of Rob, which I think she should have stuck to her guns and just voted for Rob, stayed consistent. But I would have been pissed too if I were her. So I don't really blame her. But like getting more angry at Tara didn't help her case because then that made Tara turn on her. But like I'm still most mad at Tara and Johnny and especially Mora. Like fuck Mora. I'm sorry.
She's really horrible at this
She is
game.
always loud and wrong and aggressive in the name of defending Rob. God, what an idiot. I can't stand
And then when
her.
when all the girls confronted her in the castle and they're like, "Wait, do we think it could be Rob?" And she's like, "Literally, I would die if it were Rob.
That was a good impression.
I do have a brother-in-law who's Irish. I've been practicing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Shout out Ross.
But like genuinely, she is so bad at this game. She's not good at the missions.
Yeah.
This was the only mission she actually tackled and
You know who
almost
else is
won.
you know who else is a fucking idiot? Mark Ballas.
Oh my God. And it's so funny. I've been watching his TikToks and he's like, I know you guys are all saying that we faithfuls are playing a horrible game. He's like, but I am telling you, I've watched every season of the Traitors. I kept notes. Here are all my notes of everything I thought of. He's like, they're not showing my strategy. They're not showing my gameplay.
What strategy, Mark? What strategy? Where?
He trusts Rob implicitly. Oh, one other thing I wanted to bring up about Rob. When Rob got mad that Mark got into the chair with the $750, he's like, $750? That's whack. I actually got upset on behalf of Mark. I was like, God, Rob, you don't have to be such a sour loser or a sore player.
Yeah, I'm like I love Rob, and I think that he at this point is the only person that deserves to win. But
Agreed.
But I'm sick of him. Like I was honestly team Natalie watching last night. We're recording on Friday, February 20th, so just watched it last night. And I actually was at the point where I was like, yeah, I hope Rob gets banished because the faithfuls are finally figuring him out. I'm sick of him just running this castle like the Navy. He has he's never in danger. It was good to see him kind of like sweating, and he didn't even have a good explanation at the round table, but they just ate it right up.
Yeah. His explanation was complete trash.
Yeah.
He was frazzled. You could tell he was very frantic and frazzled, and he didn't know how to defend himself.
Right. At this point, though, all of the faithfuls left are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. And I love Tara and Johnny. As you guys know, I've been obsessed with figure skating during the Olympics, and like I love listening to them. I'm obsessed. I love listening to their commentary. Like I think that they're so knowledgeable. It's just making me love them more, but I hate watching them on the Traitors. I'm so over them. I'm so over the dumbass faithfuls. And so at this point, Rob deserves to win. I guess if Eric sticks around, I have a feeling that Rob is going to end up throwing him under the bus so he can win alone. But yeah, I am completely over the season of the Traitors. I'm sorry. And I love the Traitors, but I'm just like, I'm over it. It's so frustrating to watch.
Yes, because you're right. Rob is running the castle. And I just have to give a special shout out to Eric. He is so fucking frazzled 24/7.
I know.
It's so
cute.
So funny. It's so cute because Rob chose him strategically knowing Eric would fumble. He knew it. He's like, Eric cannot keep it together. He's going to like show his
all
cards.
Of a sudden, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's like, why are you silent all the time? I just don't want to offer something where I don't know.
It's like since when, Eric? Eric was very outspoken earlier in the season. And as soon as he got recruited, it was like,
Yeah. I listen to music for a living. I know exactly what I heard.
Says the man with the magic ears.
The magic ears. I know who this is.
But yeah, this is the handwriting. This is the fatal flaw of the Traitors, though. I feel like every season. I feel like maybe this season I'm most frustrated by it. But the most strategic players are always out first because they're a threat. So then it leaves us with Mark Ballas and Maura Higgins and Tara Lipinski. It's like,
no, I know.
Oh, God.
When Maura's like, why am I still here? It's like, you're still here because you're so bad at this game, you're not a threat. It's
and because Rob knows that you will literally put your life on the line for him. And he's a traitor. Use your fucking brain, dumbass. I'm sorry, I'm getting so heated. This is why I'm ready for the season of the Traitors to be over. Like, they piss me the fuck off, all of them.
Yeah. There needs to be a difference in the rules to encourage the strategic players to stay in the game so that they're more likely to banish a traitor. Something needs to change in the rules of the game.
I have always thought that there's never enough incentive to banish traitors. So often you'll see these people be like, I know this person is a traitor, but I'm not going to go up against them because I would rather be on their good side. And then I have a traitor angel in the turret who won't murder me. There needs to be more incentive. Like maybe if they banish a traitor, a murder won't happen that night. You know?
Agreed.
Or they get more money in the prize pot. There's something fundamentally wrong with as much as I love it and enjoy it, and I've watched every country's iteration of the Traitors.
Yeah.
There is a flaw with the game. I think that's why the civilian versions work better, is because the strategic players, they're civilians. There are no preconceived notions about the players.
Right. One last question before we move on is, who do you think, okay, I'll tell you who I think the Traitors banished last night. I think it's going to be Mara, just because I think it will throw people off off Rob's scent. Who do you think?
We were thinking that too, Maura. But I think that it will end up being either Tara or Johnny because they're realizing they need to split them up because they count as 2 votes. And at this point, it is like every vote counts. So I would say Tara. And Tara was the one who originally threw out Rob's name to Natalie. And
You're
so
right.
if Rob is smart, I think he would murder Tara.
Either would be a very good option. Mara, I mean, anyone at this point besides Mark. I think
Because
Mark
Mark
would just,
is so dumb. They know
he's
that,
in
like,
Rob's corner too much.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He has him in his back pocket. Okay, what do you want to talk about next? Because we have a lot of TV we need to cover.
I know. I feel like this. Okay, I really need to talk about Love Is Blind season 10.
Love is Blind was crazy.
Love Is Blind was crazy. Am I right?
Am I right?
So you have not watched any of this season, right?
I heard it's one of the best seasons we've had, and I have to admit, I'm curious to see a recap because I know nothing about this season. Something about Love Is Blind is kind of feeling very watered down to me. It's how I felt towards the end of the Bachelor like heyday. It felt like people were going on to be influencers, and it becomes a lot more. There's a facade there. There's like it just feels so fake to me, and I no longer am excited about new seasons. If that makes sense.
Okay, I understand that, but I disagree. I'm obsessed with Love Is Blind. It doesn't matter what fucking bumblefuck town in the USA they go to. I am watching. I am locked in. And yeah, the formula, it's always like the same. There's always some ugly ass guy that sees his gorgeous fiance, who he says he fell in love with in the pods, and then sees her and is like, no. And I want to talk about, hold on, I was just getting this photo. I need to add it to the doc so you can see what I'm talking about.
And as you're doing that, I have to think. I'm thinking about all the guys that did this that like were in love behind in the pods and not in real life.
So every
I'm
season
thinking
there's
Madison and that guy last Joe. Is that his name?
Joe Shake and
Yeah. Deep D.
Deep D. Yeah.
Those are the 2 that really stand out. Oh, Jimmy and Chelsea.
Yep. Jimmy and Chelsea. Well, she did kind of mislead him with the Megan Fox comment, but yeah, I think that this happens every season. This season there's this rodent, the king of Munchkinland, named Chris. And if you see the photos that I added to our docs, you can have a visual reference. What are your thoughts? First impressions?
No. The way you described King of Munchkinland, it is spot fucking on.
And I'm only going to body shame him because he literally body shamed his fiance, who, by the way,
then let's fucking go. Let's go.
If you see this photo of his fiance, she is stunning, and she's an infectious disease doctor. She's a doctor.
20 out of 10.
Yeah.
She's hot. She's smart.
He could be so lucky. So
King of Munchkinland. I'm sorry.
So basically, they fall in love in the pods. And she makes it clear. He's like, yeah, I like cold plunges and I like running triathlons and blah, blah, blah. And she makes it clear.
It's giving lames. I'm sorry.
Lames,
I don't like any
but
of that.
also without the, I'm not trying to compliment lames. God no.
Please,
but,
just keep it, Sophie. Keep it.
But like, at least with lames, you can look at him and be like, yeah, that guy is like obsessed with working out. In derogatory, in a bad way. But like.
He makes it his whole, I don't even know sorry, I'm too on the Maura Higgins. I can't do it. He makes it his whole career to train women.
You would never look at this guy and be like, yeah, he takes care of his body. Like, you wouldn't. I'm sorry. Anyway, So him and Jess, his fiance, they exit the pods. They seem, honestly, like, first episodes that dropped, I think there were 5 or 6. I was like, they're gonna make it. Like, I actually was like, they were really vibing in Mexico. They seemed really compatible.
I'm sorry if I were her and my friends always say I could never go on the show because if I saw it and the curtain went down, I'd
burst
be like,
out laughing.
Oh, yeah, like I couldn't. I can't hide my face. But like
my first time seeing Stephen DeMarco on Tell Me Lies, I burst out laughing. Like it would be like that. So anyway. They seem to be really vibing in Mexico. They get back to Columbus, Ohio, and she visits his houses like he lives in like an apartment, normal apartment, whatever. She lives in a like 4-bedroom kind of like a suburban McMansion, a really, really, really nice house. Like I said, she's an infectious disease doctor, very successful. It's very well decorated, gorgeous home. And it seems like something like switched where he saw how successful she was and
He's emasculated, of course.
felt emasculated, felt inferior. Yep. And
tale as old as time.
Yeah. And again, in the pods, just to remind you guys, she made it very clear that she does not, she's busy. She's busy saving lives at a hospital all day. She's not doing Pilates every day. So he stayed out really late one night and she was like, what's going on? He was like, I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know how to say this without being an asshole, but I am used to being with girls who work out all the time and do Pilates every day, and that is not, like, I'm not going to lie, I'm not feeling, like, the attraction. But essentially body shamed her and made her feel like shit. And then he was like,
what?
You know, and his number 2 in the pods, this girl Bree/Breezy, who we'll get to, is another one of the couples that makes it out of the pods. She's engaged to a guy named Connor, who seems like a really cool, normal, nice guy. Yep. And he's like, I just keep thinking, like, what if I had ended up with my number 2? What if I just keep wondering. And she's like, well, none of this is easy to hear, obviously. And so she was more diplomatic than I would have been, but she ended up, you know, taking her ring off and being like, bye. Rightfully so.
I'm sorry, really quickly, I'm just Googling images of them. She has a banging body. What is he talking about?
Exactly. She is like objectively,
I'm sorry.
She's objectively gorgeous. Like objectively.
She is.
And
beautiful,
successful.
Beautiful hair, beautiful girl, beautiful, like, everything about her, 10 out of 10. Like, I'm actually confused.
So confusing. And like I said, successful, smart, infectious disease doctor. Like, oh my God, what a catch. So anyway, it's since come out that this guy, Chris, is apparently tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. He has even been sued by JP Morgan Chase. Okay. So this is from who on the Love is Blind subreddit, OK_soup9376, did some digging. So credit to this Reddit user. Also, his ex-girlfriend came out and played psycho voicemails about him, exposed him for being in debt, and she recorded a voicemail or a phone call that he made with her where he was saying that he made $750,000 last year and didn't pay any taxes, and that she better hope she finds a rich guy because that's her only hope, and that she's a fucking bitch, and saying horrible things to her. So this person on Reddit says, as mentioned by his ex-girlfriend, homeboy's got a mountain of credit card debt. It's so bad that there are multiple public records easily found through the websites for the Franklin County Clerk of Courts and Municipal Court that back this claim up. He has had default judgments of over $50,000 against him from JP Morgan Chase alone in the last 2 years. And I'm sure there's more. This guy's out there pretending to be someone he isn't with his whole damn chest. Meanwhile, it took me 20 minutes to figure out what a true financial fraud he is. And for the $36,000 245 judgment, wage/salary garnishment was ordered to pay the debt. It appears the court attempted to send certified mail to what he must have listed as his employer, but it was returned to sender. So, like, he's probably unemployed too.
100%. What a fucking loser.
And it's crazy that, once again, if this was easy enough for this person on Reddit to find, how did the Love is Blind casting department not catch this? And we ask ourselves this again and again when it comes to reality casting. And I think what's hard about a show like Love is Blind is that it probably is hard to find guys for a show like this. They're not watching reality TV like women are. It probably is difficult, but that doesn't, like, are they trying to either do this on purpose to cause drama, or are they literally just being so laissez-faire about putting a guy who was a financial fraud into a situation where he could merge finances with his fiance, perhaps wife? Like, which is worse?
Yeah, this is incredibly nefarious, and it just shows that someone like this Munchkin Land Chris guy, he's so insecure with himself, with his finances, that he has to attack the one thing that you never touch when you're talking about a woman. You really hit him, like, he was trying to hit her where it hurt, But joke's on him. She's beautiful. She's successful. She owns a badass home. Like, it's just men like this that are so small that make it their life's mission to bring successful women down.
Yep.
There's a certain place in hell for, I wouldn't even call him a man. This is a child, a little insecure baby child, a toddler.
Yeah.
I hope that he is never employed, ever. The fact that he was saying that he made almost $800,000 and didn't have to pay taxes, while in fact he made up an address of where his employer was and they got a return to sender. Like, you're an embarrassing person.
Yep. And you could tell based on this phone call with his ex-girlfriend that she recorded and leaked that this is a pattern for him. He is so deeply insecure and has to bring down a confident, successful woman. And it gets worse. So they ended up having a mixer, as they do, with all of the couples and some of the pod squad.
My favorite part. It's so juicy.
The pod squad. Actually, I'm not going to say who, but one of the contestants, she doesn't end up being one of the couples, went to my high school on the season.
Oh, did you know her or just like
no? She was in a different grade, but she was a grade older. But anyway, she's part of the pod squad. She was at the mixer. So the girl that was his second choice, Bree/Breezy, knows what happened with Jess. Jess told them, you know, the conversation they had where he was body shaming her, and all of the girls are like, oh my God, like, you're so fucking hot. Like, fuck that. This girl, Amber, who I love, was like, fucking pussy ass bitch. This is why we don't put up with these fucking bullshit men.
Yeah.
Like, what? He thinks he's going to find another hot doctor? Like, I loved her.
Yeah.
Loved her reaction. Such a girl's girl. Bree/Breezy is so obsessed with male validation.
Oh my God, I'm scared whatever you're
that
telling me.
she ends up entertaining the conversation with him. He pulls her aside and he goes, yeah, like, let's just say the sex I had with Jess was the worst sex I've ever had.
What?
Yeah. And then it says, Connor, so your fiance, Connor, I think he's a little too submissive for you. I think you need someone a little more dominant.
I'm not joking. Thinking of this little munchkin on top of me puts me in a rash. That is actually
dominant. He's the size of a miniature poodle.
He's like my height, I think.
And I am only body shaming him because he body shamed Jess. Okay? If he's gonna bring up bodies, let's talk about bodies.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone because I'm just staring at all these players.
Yep. No, it's good that you're getting visuals. So Bree is like completely entertaining this conversation. She's sitting there listening to him, sipping her drink. Like, she's loving it.
I'm going to vomit.
When they were in Mexico, she was like, I think it's really, like, you could tell that she was interested in Chris because Chris was her number 2. And so she was seeing Chris, and I felt some sort of mutual attraction there. And so she was loving it.
It's so
if you're not
dark.
Icked out, so dark. If you're not icked out by a fucking this thing,
emphasis on thing,
body shaming a gorgeous, hot doctor, then like, where do you draw the line?
And by the way, Bree did hear, what's the Jess?
Yes.
Bree heard Jess talk about how Chris was body shaming her.
Fully aware. And then still had a conversation with him where he shit talked Connor, her fiance. Excuse me, I'm getting like so worked up I can barely speak. And then also, before the mixer, Chris meets up with Connor to be like, hey, like, Jess and I broke up, acting like he needed comforting. And Connor was so sweet and was like, you'll get through this. You know, it's going to be okay. But
Connor looks like a king, by the way. Connor's like good looking too.
Cute, really cute guy. I was like looking at his Instagram. He lived in Cincinnati for a few years, so he was making skyline dip. And I was like, he gets it. That's my man. Yeah. And meanwhile, Chris is just meeting up with Connor in order to see how he feels about Bree so he can swoop in and steal Bree.
Oh.
No, like, it's actually diabolical. And there's
I need to watch this season.
There's one other couple named Devontae and Brittany is stunning. Stunning. She is, I believe, half Puerto Rican. Oh my God, I can't remember. She's half black and then half Latina.
Okay. Yep.
And Devontae is also mixed. He is half black, half white. And he said something along the lines of when he saw Brittany, because Brittany's voice, she says, I sound white. So he probably thought I was going to be a white girl. When, after the reveal, he said, I have never been with something like that. Something, as in a woman of color, let alone proposed to. He called her something.
Wait, sorry, the mixed guy called her
something.
That's so much self-hatred. That's so dark.
Yes.
And it's like says more about his
if
feelings
you look
about
at
his
Devontae,
race.
I saw a tweet that said he looks like he snuck onto Earth. And then here you have Brittany, who is like absolutely objectively stunning.
I'm looking.
Devontae, Love is Blind season 10.
He looks like
No, like the audacity of the. Where do they find these creatures?
Wait.
Where does the Love
she
is Blind?
beautiful.
Gorgeous, objectively stunning.
Yeah.
So if Love is Blind has taught us anything over the years, where do men have the audacity?
He looks like he snuck on Earth.
He literally does. He does. Isn't that so accurate? He also, I saw someone else say that he looks like the baby dinosaur in that one show. Remember that show for when we were little?
Like The Land Before Time.
No.
But his traps are really big, so it's like his neck is small.
No, wait. Remember the show Dinosaurs? Baby Sinclair? Look up Baby Sinclair from Dinosaurs.
I'm not familiar with that body of work, but let me look.
And again, we're only shaming the appearance. We're only shaming the appearances of these men because they did it first, okay? Guys, body shaming is never okay unless it's a man who deserves it.
No, 100%. We would never say this if he were a nice, decent dude.
Yes, exactly.
He's out here body shaming the woman that he chose and proposed to. Yeah, so we're going to go there.
We're going to fucking go there.
Don't come for us in the comments and say that we're body shaming.
Yeah, please, you guys. Please.
Please.
If you're going to say that, you need to watch this season of Love is Blind.
Yeah,
and you'll realize that these men deserve it. Like these women that happen to be single in their 30s or however old they are. I know that Jess actually is 38. And she also has such a good perspective. She was like, I have such an amazing life. I have this gorgeous house. I have a great job. If someone fits into my life and makes my life better, great. If not, then I don't care. You know, like she is very like, I just want someone who will make my life easier. I don't really need a man. These women are all amazing. And the men are always fucking trash.
Isn't it almost that way?
Always.
It's always the women that are so high caliber, successful, pretty.
Yes.
They take care of their family, their friends. And then the men, they're like, you don't do Pilates 3 times a week?
No wonder they had to extend the search to be all 3 big cities of Ohio, because it's like this is what they could find after trawling the streets of Ohio. This is what they could find. This is the best they could find.
Yeah, and I think to your point, how would the producer suss out every man's ex-girlfriend and their voice notes? And, you know, you can't do that unless they don't have a criminal record. They're not going and looking at their financial status.
But I think with Chris's, like, they could have found that with a little light digging, but, like, I don't know.
You're right, actually, because every job that I've ever applied for and I've gotten, they do a background check and they validate your employment history.
Yes, exactly.
So why could Love is Blind not do that same background check?
I will say there is one couple. Well, Jordan and Amber I'm rooting for them. They're a great couple. She is a single mom, and they just seem very compatible. Like I said, she was the one that was standing up for Jess and saying, you think you're going to find another hot fucking doctor? Ugh. Love her. But
yes,
Vic and Christine, they are 100% going to make it. I'm obsessed with them. Vic is a professor at OSU, and he just seems like such a sweet, sweet, sweet man. So hoping the best for them. They're not all men are trash. Most men are, but not all men.
Yeah. God, that was a really fun recap. Like, I feel like I just watched the entire season.
That's all you need to know.
Perfectly, and like that was one of the funniest things I've heard all week, genuinely.
I hope that even if you're not watching Love is Blind, you guys enjoyed that little segment.
Yeah, no, that was like
and
beautiful.
There will be visuals on our Snark Babe Pod Instagram Obviously.
Obviously, at SnarkBabePod on Instagram if you want to see every reference Sophie is making, including this dinosaur. It's baby Sinclair ex Devontae.
Snuck onto
This
fucking
snuck on
Earth.
Earth. I'm gonna start using that.
Oh my
Like
God.
anyone that pisses me off at work, you look like you snuck on Earth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you guys know I like to have a good time, okay? And Cheers has genuinely changed my relationship with going out. I feel like once you hit your 30s, even if you're just having a completely normal night, like a couple glasses of wine at dinner, a friend's birthday, whatever, the next morning just hits differently. Even if I think I'm doing everything right. Baby snarks in their 30s and above, I know you know what I'm talking about. And what I didn't realize until recently is that it's not just dehydration. Alcohol actually affects your brain and your liver, which is why you can feel off even if you drank responsibly and did everything quote unquote right. This is why I'm so happy I discovered Cheers Restore. They're capsules you take after your last drink or before bed, and the ingredients support both your brain and your liver. I personally keep them on my nightstand, so if I go to dinner, have cocktails with friends, or just have a random Tuesday night glass of wine, I take them and actually feel like myself the next day. And this isn't just some random internet product. Cheers was originally developed by a Princeton student, was featured on Shark Tank, and has sold over 50 million doses, which makes sense because it actually works. Same night out, way better morning with Cheers. For a limited time, our listeners are getting 20% off their entire order by using code SNARK at cheershealth.com. Just head to cheershealth.com and use code SNARK for 20% off. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you.
Whether it's working or recording, I'm basically always on Zoom calls like all day long. So I always want to be comfortable while also looking appropriate for my coworkers and also our baby snarks and Christy, of course. And that's why I'm obsessed with Honey Love bras. The crossover bra is my personal favorite. It's so comfortable and it disappears under t-shirts, sweaters, and all my tops. It's wire-free, but still so supportive, thanks to its special bonding technology, which is so perfect. It's the softest fabric. I literally forget I'm wearing it. Honey Love lives up to the hype, you guys. I'd heard so much about the brand from so many people, but I didn't truly understand it until I tried for myself. And for when I do occasionally leave my house, I love their shapewear. Their superpower thong like sucks me in while still being so comfortable with no panty lines, of course. We also love that Honey Love is an independent, female-founded brand. The products are designed by women for women. They truly get us over at Honey Love. They're for the girlies. Treat yourself to the most advanced bras and shapewear on the market. Use our exclusive link to save 20% off Honey Love at honeylove.com/snark. That's honeylove.com/snark. After you check out, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in comfort and support with Honey Love. Okay. What should we talk about next?
Tell Me Lies.
Yes.
We have to talk about, you guys, this is spoilers, but this is the series finale. If you're a huge fan of Tell Me Lies, I know you guys have already watched this. It's been at least a week at this point. It has been a week by the time you guys are listening to this.
But spoiler alert, if you don't want spoilers for the Tell Me Lies finale, don't get mad. Just skip ahead.
All of our timestamps are approximate, but
They're
skip ahead.
approximate, yeah.
Yes, but what I will say is I thoroughly enjoyed the finale. I felt like with so much darkness that this entire show has been across 3 seasons, I like that towards the end they made it a little campy. It was like the Evan getting in the cake, Toxic by Britney Spears playing in the background. It was chaos. People were yelling at each other. Stephen DeMarco was calling everyone out for their shit. I loved that they kind of juxtaposed darkness to lightness because they had to. There was too much. I felt heavy after watching every single episode. What I will say is that Wrigley, and you wrote here in the notes, he definitely is the best out of all of them for sure.
And Diana.
And Diana. I fucking love Diana. But the craziest part is if you take a step back, on the series finale, Wrigley still slept with his best friend's fiance and wife. And it's like, at the end of the day, you're the best of all evils, but you're still also a very shitty person. That's number one. Number two, the Marianne and Oliver story and bringing in Bree's mom to confront her and gaslight Bree and her mother and saying, you've created this fantasy, you're sick in the head. I felt sick to my stomach. I hated that part, and I think that we did need some kind of closure and some kind of like loop to be closed off. But that part of the show probably was the darkest part for me. Something else that I was noticing on TikTok, because the theories about Tell Me Lies was going rampant for weeks. Did you see the theory that Oliver was actually Bree's biological father?
Ew. I
Isn't
have seen that theory, and I think it's obviously really gross.
yeah, it takes it to like incest and everything. It takes it to another level. But I was actually laughing so hard because I was watching this TikTok and saying like, do all of you feel stupid now? Like all your crazy fucking theories. One, that Oliver was her biological father. Two, Lucy's been dead the entire time. Like I feel like we were so in it as a society in the show that we were giving it like Stranger Things level of theories.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really think, and Megan Oppenheimer said this herself about where does she see the characters landing in 10 years. And she says that she really believes that Marianne and Oliver will be done. Their marriage is not sustainable. They're going to be, yeah, they're not going to be together anymore. I think that Lucy is finally broken away from Steven. I feel like her laughing at the end at that gas station when he left her alone, it was almost like her final, like, she had an epiphany. No matter what I do, no matter what I do, Steven will never be there for me, and he's never going to be the man that I want. He only cares about winning. He doesn't care about loving people, about building strong relationships. He just cares about winning. And I felt like it was a beautiful ending to the entire series, and I'm curious what you thought. Oh, one other thing. I fucking hate Pippa as well. Pippa was being such a piece of shit friend when Lucy admitted to her that she was actually the one that Evan cheated on at the coconut party or at the Hawaiian party, and Pippa was like, "How could you? I can't even look at you. How do you even wake up in the morning without being embarrassed?" It's like pot, kettle, black.
Yeah.
That was right behind the Marianne and Oliver scene. I hated Pippa, and they did not make her a sympathetic character at all. And I hated the fact that she was the one that actually got the happy ending, even though she's a shit person.
Pippa got a happy ending, and Bree got a happy ending. And Bree, throughout this years, we're like, Bree's the only good one. The fact that Bree was the one that released that tape of Lucy when she's clearly under duress. It is very obvious that she is under duress. It looks like a hostage video.
Yeah.
But she released, and then got away with it for all of those years after college.
Yeah.
I don't think that Brie deserved a happy ending either. The fact that that's why I wasn't really satisfied with the ending. I've seen, mixed reviews. A lot of people are like you, are like, I'm super satisfied with all of the storylines wrapping up. Why was Macy never brought up again? And everyone's like, well, that's realistic. Like, men get away with this stuff. I'm like, okay, well, it's a fucking show. Like, I want Steven either dead or in jail. The fact that he got his Yale acceptance rescinded was amazing. It wasn't enough for me. Like, I actually needed him dead.
So interesting that you bring that up. So I actually read the book. And in the book, Macy never gets justice. And Megan Oppenheimer said she wanted to stay true to the book and basically leave that storyline open.
Well,
but I agree. The way that they presented Steven, we needed to see justice for Macy. That was the most dark storyline of the entire 3 seasons. Someone died because of him.
I hate him so much. Like, I actually, if he had ended up... Watching him get his Yale acceptance rescinded was the most satisfying moment of the finale for me. I needed that times a million. Like, I needed him to die, end up in prison. Like, I get that, it's not... but a lot of things aren't accurate to the book in the show. Like, I just would have been so much more satisfied if he fucking died. Like, I actually hate him so much. I've never hated a character more.
Yeah.
Other than Maura on the Traitors. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just talking about how much, and Chris on Love is Blind. I'm talking about how much I hate these people on TV. Obviously, Stephen DeMarco is a fictional character, but I hate him so much. And I don't know, Grace Van Patten as Lucy her acting was incredible in that scene where she was getting informed that she was getting expelled. And you could tell that she was literally on the verge of a mental breakdown. It was, incredible acting. And then we don't know what happened to her after she got expelled. That was the end of her sophomore year. What did she do for her junior and senior year? I feel like there was, no, epilogue on Lucy's the main character.
Yeah.
And then... I don't know. I'm obviously happy that she got away with Steven because, like people have said, you have to let these types of people think that they won. And
Like
so,
Diana did in season 2.
Yeah.
And she got away scot-free. She was the one that ended up winning the
Yep.
entire series, I feel.
So him leaving her at the gas station, she was like, wow, it's over. Like, he can think that he won, and now it's done. And I guess if you think about it, it's not like Steven gets, like, you know, a super happy ending either in some way, because he doesn't have a fiance anymore. He doesn't have friends.
I would have loved to know, by the way, how him and Lydia got together.
Yeah, that's another thing that I feel like the loop wasn't closed. And then with Oliver and Marianne, again, it's like the fact that we didn't see any consequences for that. Like, basically, we watched a pedophile, an abuser, Steven, and a rapist, Chris, get away scot-free. Like, to me, that was not satisfying, and I was very surprised by how many people were, like, satisfied with the finale.
Yeah, I didn't think of it in that way. I think I was thinking it more in terms of Lucy's storyline, but the men that were pedophiles and rapists, I agree. Like, we needed to see that full circle.
Steven, Oliver, Chris, all walking away scot-free. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Give us what we want. Like, I know that it's like, it's supposed to be a show. Nothing about this show is like really that realistic, honestly. Like,
No, these people are, yeah.
The amount of people that are like, I had a Steven once. And it's like, what kind of people were you dating that you had a Steven? He is the most evil person on TV.
Yeah, like, someone who cheated on you doesn't mean that he's a Steven.
Yeah, and I get that he's supposed to be like a narcissistic, abusive ex, which I'm sure a ton of people have unfortunately dealt with throughout the years. And luckily enough, I cannot say that I have, which is, I know, very lucky. But, like, he's also a murderer.
Yeah.
Like, he is, like, on another level of evil.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. I'm curious what you guys think about the ending, because it is getting mixed reviews. I feel like they did close the loop enough to where a 4th season is not necessary. It makes a lot of sense why they said this is the series finale. But I have to say, if you felt impacted by Grace Van Patten's acting, again, I keep telling you, you have to watch the Amanda Knox show. It's so good on Hulu, because I think what she portrays is really hard. She plays a young woman who is learning Italian and also being incarcerated with broken, like, having to speak broken Italian. It was, like, amazing what she did. And then when she was exonerated finally, or acquitted, and released from Italy, like, her reaction was really beautiful. I highly recommend her in that series. And it's impactful, because she worked very closely with Amanda Knox on that whole series. So.
Yeah. I never watched it. But,
you have to.
You said it was really good. I feel like I just have Amanda Knox fatigue, but it's on Hulu and it got really good reviews, so. Speaking of good shows on Hulu, I quickly want to talk about Love Story.
I need to watch it so badly. Do I start that or Love is Blind? Okay, I'm going to start Love Story. Like, I just can't with Love is Blind. I just got enough from you.
I just remember there's a new episode out of Love Story, which I'm so excited to watch. Anyway, this is the Ryan Murphy produced show about Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and JFK Jr., and I was very skeptical for a couple reasons. First of all, Ryan Murphy always ends up, I have watched everything he's ever made pretty much, but
Me too.
It's not like good TV. Like, he always ends up, there's always like a really strong start to like an American Horror Story season or whatever, and then it all falls apart. So hopes were not high, but it turns out he did not write or direct the show. He just is an executive producer. So he really was not involved with the creation of the show. The other reason I was skeptical was because the paparazzi photos that came out of Sarah Pigeon, who plays Carolyn Bessette, her hair was so bad. Her outfits were worse. It just did not look like a biblically accurate depiction of Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, an absolute fashion icon, obviously. But apparently because of the backlash, because bullying works, they went back to the drawing board. They swapped out her wig for her real hair, and it looks amazing. They changed the styling. Looks so much better. And
it reminds me of This Ends With Us, when everyone hated on the wardrobe, but they didn't fix it.
Yeah. They didn't fix it. Like, this time they did. They listened. They were like, okay, like, let's go back to the drawing board. But, and I am, like, obsessed with Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, sadly. And I'm now reading Once Upon a Time by Elizabeth Beller, which is the book about her life that the show is based off of. So highly recommend. I'm breezing through it. But I wanted to call out the people that are acting like they were so obsessed with Carolyn Bessette Kennedy before it was cool. As if she hasn't been a style icon since the 90s. Like, all of these people are such Like, I saw, like, what's her name? Oh, Julia Mervis on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I have been obsessed with Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. It's like, you're 12, first of all. Second of all, like, she's always been a style icon. Like, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think it's so pick me and annoying how all these people are coming out of the woodwork being like, huh, I liked her first before it was cool.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I don't know much about her, but that is pick me behavior for sure. And I've heard there's also beef with like Julia Mervis. There's some beef in that friend group, by the way. Have you heard about this? This is like a total pivot. Sorry.
I don't really know what's going on with that. Because Julia Mervis is in the same friend group as Jake Shane and Brett Chody.
Yes, but I think there might be some beef between Julian Mervis and one other person. I don't want to actually speak on it because I don't know exactly what's going on. But, okay, yeah, people think that there's something going on with Brett Spites and Julian Mervis.
There's been a falling out.
Yeah.
Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, we could do an episode on that whole friend group.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten a lot of requests for that friend group. I feel like I'm not very well versed in them because, again, they're like 12.
Yeah, they're too Gen Z.
That
it's
sounds
a different
so
demographic.
mean. I'm not trying to like put them down for being like babies. I'm saying that like I am too old to be following along with like Brett Spites.
Yeah, but I guess people are saying they're still friends, so who's to say? But
Who's to say?
yeah.
Is there anything else? I know that we have like so many other like Summer House, Southern Charm. Should we do like
We talk about this every week, so we'll do that next week.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go over our DEOs and our
yes.
LEOs. My dark energy object this week is Tyra Banks and her America's Next Top Model documentary. Have you
Yes.
watched it?
Yes. I
It
still
is-
have one episode left, but yes.
It is captivating, compelling, everything I needed. A lot of the
Yeah.
storylines I don't even remember because I was a huge fan of that show in high school.
Oh yeah.
I can't
The
believe
Shandy?
yes, that's what I was gonna bring
Oh my
up.
God.
The Shandy thing was really dark, and I felt like Tyra talking about it with her the next day. I've been cheated on. Have any of you girls been cheated on? I'm here to be like your mother. I want to give you advice. No,
Yeah.
Tyra, you were just exploitative and disgusting. And the fact that she actually was in the documentary, I actually felt made it worse for her because I think she showed a very clear lack of self-awareness. And I think that her refusal to talk about Jay Manuel and their beef showed more about the entire situation and who she is than I think she realized. Because Jay Manuel, you could tell, was incredibly hurt by Tyra. You could tell he really, really looked up to her. She's the reason he had as big of a career as he did in the early 2000s. But the fact that they straight up asked her, do you want to talk about the Jay of it all? He's a huge part of ANTM. He's a huge part of this documentary. What say you about the beef? No, I'm not. Me and Jay will talk about that offline. And there was this insidiousness in her eyeballs that gave me such a chill down my spine. I am so glad we don't really have to watch her anymore on our TVs because I used to be a huge fan of Tyra.
Yeah, same.
Through ANTM, I was obsessed
You
with the
loved
Tyra show
the
in high
Tyra
school.
show, yeah.
Oh my God. Like there are certain parts of that show that like still stick with me. It was a great show at one point. But showing her impact and like just her trying to like posture as someone who's so body inclusive while at the same time body shaming so many of the contestants on that show, doing incredible irreparable damage to their body image
Yeah.
well into these women's 40s. I don't. She's my dark energy object.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people
Person.
diagnosing her as having the dark triad, which is Machiavellian, narcissistic, and sociopathic. The fact that she had again, I still have one episode left, but there's been a clear lack of empathy for
Yes.
what these girls went through, a clear
Yes.
lack of accountability.
Yes.
There's something deeply, deeply wrong with her. Like, it's just,
I agree.
it's so dark. It was so illuminating. I think she thought with this documentary that she would kind of have this redemption because she knows that people have been shitting on her for a few years now since, kind of the tides turned against America's Next Top Model as we watch it through the lens of 2026. But yeah, she looked worse than ever, honestly.
Yes.
Very, very, very disturbing. If you guys haven't watched the documentary yet, highly recommend it. Like
was
we said,
amazing.
we have an episode that goes into also some of the other problematic things about America's
Race
Next Top
swapping.
Model, the race swapping. But yeah, the Shandy situation is so dark.
I don't remember that. Do you remember that happening? In
Oh my
real
God!
time?
Of course.
Yeah.
The
See, I
phone
don't think I
call?
watched that season.
You had sex. You had sex, and watching it, I was like, "Oh my God, she cheated on him." But then
Knowing what we know now.
she was not she didn't consent. She was so drunk, and the fact that it was filmed, it was all filmed. She was not consenting. This was not consensual.
And the fact that the production team went inside the bathroom in
Yep.
the shower
And filmed her.
and then Ken Mock saying, "Listen, I have nothing to do with production. I can't take accountability for production." No, but you're the showrunner. So yes, even though you're not in the production team, you have a responsibility to make sure whatever they do is or is not shown.
Dark as fuck.
That is your duty. No,
God.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, and I'm sorry, the look in her eye, wasn't it so unapologetic and
Yep.
insidious?
Yep. She did not feel anything
No,
for those women.
no.
Okay. My dark energy object of the week is myself. I have been really bad at responding to DMs, comments, whether it's on Spotify, Patreon, in my own DMs. So I just want to say that. I'm sorry. I have really, really, really tried to respond. So please bear with me. It's been a crazy, crazy chapter in my life lately. So I feel really bad about that. So I just want to apologize that if you have DM'd me and I haven't gotten to it, just bear with me, please. And I'm sorry. I feel like for so long, we were so good about responding to all the comments on Spotify and Patreon, and we've really fallen behind, but we love your comments and we will always, always, always try to respond. It's just sometimes life gets crazy and hectic. So that's mine.
Yeah, you are really good at being responsive to the listeners. And I guess that kind of dovetails into my light energy object. I think I got a lot of really nice emails and DMs from some baby snarks. And it meant a lot to me last week that you guys took the time out of your days to reach out, and whether it be constructive feedback in a way that was really, it allowed for just like a discussion. And I really, really respect that. And I think Sophie and I are not without flaws. I'm certainly not without flaws, but I think people just having a willingness to just talk about what could have offended them and like how they were moved by whatever I said or whatever. It just, I actually had many fluid discussions via email with a lot of baby snarks. So love you guys so much. It made Sophie and I's week last week.
Yes.
So
yes, definitely. Thank you guys. And my light energy object is Alyssa Liu.
Don't get Sophie started, okay?
Don't get me started.
If you type in Alyssa Liu on my phone, there's going to be 900 text messages from Sophie. She's like, by the way, did you see this thing with Alyssa Liu? I'm like,
oh my God.
enough.
And Christy she has not been clocked into the Olympics like I have been, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Alyssa Liu. What I actually like cried really hard when she won. And
oh,
I want to read this tweet that I actually posted to my Instagram story because it phrases it better than I could, by Claire DeLune. So basically, Alyssa Liu made it really clear that she was like, I don't care about winning medals. She retired back in 2022 because of stress from the sport. And then when she came back to the sport, she was like, I'm going to do things on my terms. Like, I just want to have fun and show what I can do. I don't care about winning medals. I just want to have fun. And you can tell that she's just having fun. Like, she's out there and she just is having the time of her life. She skated to a Donna Summer song. It was so much fun. It felt so refreshing.
Oh,
and like, it was just beautiful. Did you watch it?
No, but
Christy. The other interesting thing about her is that her father escaped the Chinese Communist Party. He's a Chinese immigrant because he was protesting Tiananmen Square. And so he escaped to the U.S. And as part of China's Olympic recruitment program, they were trying to recruit Alyssa for the Beijing Olympics. And they said no. They were like, no, we are absolutely not going to compete for China.
yeah, like, we escaped you. Give me a break.
They started spying on her and her family. And they had to get a security detail for her in Beijing because they thought that she could potentially be kidnapped by the Chinese government. So that's a little backstory about her. But this tweet by Claire DeLune. So she won, if it's not clear, she won the gold medal in women's figure skating. It's the first gold medal that the U.S. has won in women's figure skating since 2002, before she was even born. But Claire DeLune tweeted, Alyssa Liu is such an incredible lesson in choosing joy and following your bliss. She didn't come to Milan to win a medal. She came to showcase her art and enjoy herself, and she walked away with gold. Holding on too tightly never works. Let go and enjoy the ride. And I think that's so, it's genuinely inspiring to me. It's like she is not doing this for praise, for critical acclaim, for attention, for anything else other than herself. And I think that is such an amazing lesson that all of us, like I sent it to Christy, I was like, this is the attitude that we should have, whether it's for our live shows or for podcasting day in and day out. Like, we don't do this for the praise or the downloads. Like, we do it because we love it and we have fun. Like, that's what it's about, you know? Like,
we forget, sometimes we forget about that as humans, like in a hamster wheel of work and schedules and
obviously,
and kids.
like, validation feels good.
Yeah, of course.
So like, sometimes you forget that that's not what it's about. And I feel like Alyssa Liu is such an incredible lesson in letting go of caring what anyone thinks and having fun. I don't know. I just, like, I love her. I'm so obsessed with her. I'm, like, going to get emotional again talking about it. Like, she was just so brilliant and so fun to watch. And like I said, like, you could just tell that she was having fun out there. The nerves, the pressure of the moment didn't get to her. She was just having the fucking time of her life. All of the other skaters, you could tell they were like, you know, like, it's imagine you're performing in front of the world for a potential gold medal. Like, obviously that's so much pressure. And
I think it's, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's like I feel like I said it all.
Yeah, I was going to say it also is a lesson in just grounding yourself too in the moment, not thinking about the future or what people are going to think after you perform. It's like, no, how can I just enjoy myself in the here and the now? It really is like a lesson on just like being present, I think, which we all could do sometimes. I know I'm horrible at it.
And fun fact, the makeup artist that did my glam for our cover art, Kelly Christensen, also did Alyssa Liu's glam once.
No, that's so cool. Like, Sophie texted me, she's like, I'm freaking out. Kelly is doing does Alyssa Liu's makeup. And I was like, no fucking way. Kelly is amazing. She's so cool. She's funny.
Amazing. I was so happy with my makeup that day.
No, Sophie was obsessed, and she's going to do Sophie's makeup for the live show as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to get all of the tea on Alyssa Liu. She posted about her, though, and it was like, she is as amazing and down to earth and kind as she seems. She does seem just so normal, down to earth. Again, she's just a 21-year-old kid. I think she's 21, having fun out there. So, I don't know. I'm feeling inspired. I love her.
Yeah.
And
I think we can all take a lesson from that.
She's 20. She's 20. So, yeah, just a baby.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to our episode. And tomorrow on the Patreon, we're talking about something much heavier than the discussion today about missing teens in small ski towns in Canada. And then the episode on Thursday is think like CW star turned influencer that many of us are familiar with, especially in the last couple of months. So looking forward to that. And yeah, anything else?
Yeah, as always, find links to buy tickets to our live shows that are coming up and our Substack that goes out every Friday, our newsletter with little musings and links to stuff we like called Snarkbite in our show notes. And yeah, thanks guys for being here. And is that Nance making another full English breakfast?
It sure is. I was like, that's why I've been eating this.
I love her.
It's too much.
I love her.
It's too much.
Okay. Yep. Bye guys. Love ya.
Bye.